We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Here they gonna get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's up, man?
Let me ask you this though, man. Did you watch House of Dragons?
Have not watching it tonight.
So
Sarah hits me up last night because we typically watch, we used to watch P Valley on Sundays, and then we was gonna replace P Valley with House of Dragons. Something happened to where we was doing something. It got real late Sunday, so we was like, all right, we'll just wait till Monday, which is typically what we do for P Valley if we miss on Sunday. She hits me up while I'm in Shawnee, was like, yo, the internet is out. So I'm like, it's late at night now. There's no way I can talk to anybody from Cox or whatever, do all the little troubleshoot stuff, whatever, whoopty whoopty. Right. So get home today, bro. And I'm like panicking, trying to figure out what's going on with the internet. Something tells me to go look at the router, right? Because I was gonna go reset it. The doggone plug was halfway out.
Boy, save the day, huh?
Well, that's not even it though. We always sleep with the music on in our room. So I yelled out the person's name that you yell when you need something done in your house, because I ain't gonna yell it now because it will go off.
Okay.
And they even told me to check the router, make sure it's plugged in. And we was ignoring her like whatever, and that was what the reason was. So no, the long-winded answer to your question: have not seen House of Dragons, but plan to do so tonight.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know. There are a lot of little, so for it to be just that initial episode, there's a lot of little jewels that you can catch along the way. That Friday we got to talk about that, because I just want to see if you caught like little bitty things though, man. That I was just like, yo, I can't
wait to see it, because I seen somebody post like, has anybody seen House of Dragons? Because I got so many questions. I'm just like, man, I'm ready to see it. I've been avoiding all spoilers and everything like that.
Yeah. No, I think it's fire, man. I think that very, very tastefully done for it to be a prequel. And I think that the one thing that you'll find are the different references that are made in it, though, bro. It's pretty dope. Yeah, it's okay. So we talked about. And I'm not gonna get all the way into it, but you know how we talked about how it's a prequel, so you don't technically have to have watched all of Game of Thrones to know what's up.
Right.
But then there are some little
Easter
references.
Eggs.
Yeah. It was enough to where I was like, oh, okay, you know what, man, I might have to go back. And I told Neek, I said, yo, we're gonna have to go ahead and watch the whole Game of Thrones, the whole thing. So I'm thinking that maybe today we might go back and watch some of the O's, just to kind of review the times there.
Yeah, I know Sarah at one point we had started it, but she kind of gave up. On the Game of Thrones, bro.
Hey man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, because I'm talking about by the time I sent out that notification though, bro. More news came on out there. Let's get the music going.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast.
He needs some milk.
All time.
Yep.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you can get the heads up whenever your boys name are live. Ace Kennedy. Hey, listen, man, you was talking about you was talking about Sarah. Let me ask you this though, bro. In general, let's say that something happened to you, and let's say you got into an issue and you were locked up, right? So you get locked up and your bail is high, right? And so your people is so high that even when your people scrapping all their money together, they ain't having enough money to go ahead and get you on out of jail, though, right?
And the bail bondsman can't get me.
The bail bondsman can't get you because of the amount. Let's say your bond is up to $1 million, right? Now let's say even $500,000, but the bail bondsman was like, listen, that's too high for me, though, man. But if you do something like a surety bond, it's 10% of that, right? So 10% of that still is $50,000, right? But that's something that they were just like, you got your mortgage though, your house can cover that, right? Cover the $500,000. Would you kind of urge the missus to put up the house to get you out of jail?
No.
You stay in.
Have to. For one, it depends on what I did. You know what I'm saying? With it being that high, obviously something went down. So my thing is at the same time that I'm jammed up, my family still needs to be taken care of.
Yeah. But hey, you can't take care of your family while you're jammed up.
True. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know how that works. Like so what happens, right? If he doesn't show up, then the house gets
your house get took if for some reason if you miss your court dates. But provided provided that you show up, you do what you're supposed to do on the outside, then I'm not sure how that works with the actual amount that you pay. So I think that if I understand it correctly, I think that the amount that you put up as a collateral would be overall. I don't know if it's like the 10% or whatever. Like I think if you just do a flat out bond, I think that it just might be, hey, you know what? This is it. House to get him on now. The surety is the 10%. And so I don't know if you just say, all right, you know what? I can put the 10% down. I'm going to put my house down for the collateral for the 10%, right? But even still, if for some reason, if you know what I'm saying, if it was time, you didn't show up to court, that's kind of the reason why a lot of people are kind of reluctant to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go through and I'm a co-sign. I'm going to go ahead and get you on now, because it's like, unless you know the person, right? They might necessarily, you might be thinking, okay, they're good. Even if I have to wheel you into court myself, you're straight. But then there's a lot of times where you're responsible for that though, right? So it's like, it's a tough dilemma. And I bring that up because Christopher Wallace, Biggie, his daughter actually put up their house, $1.5 million house as collateral to get her, I believe, her boyfriend out of jail. Now, apparently, boyfriend, baby daddy. Now, apparently, this dude was charged with hit and run for hit three people, basically. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, listen, bro, like, and hit and runs is like one of them things where it's like you did it or you didn't do. Like, I don't know if there's any conjecture there. There's no thought to it. Like it.
Well, what it was that it was a routine stop, and the cops went to look at his registrations and his license was suspended, so he peeled out, and that's how he hit the people.
Oh yeah, but
even still, like you said, it's either you did or you didn't.
Yeah, either you hit the people or you didn't. That's the thing that I'm wondering though. So I maybe right. The putting it up as a collateral is to get him out of jail. Now, whether or not he's convicted, is another story, though. He showed up to jail, so I don't know what the fees and all that other stuff is, though, man. But real crazy, though, man. I was just sitting there thinking, like, all right, if I was locked up and I knew for sure that this was something that I didn't do, then yeah, come get me on out of here at whatever the cost. So, right.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if I know that it's something that I did, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to sit down on that one though, bro.
Right. No,
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, it's what, like you said, what you can't really do anything from behind bars. So, and like you said, as long as you make them court dates or whatever, I mean, I guess, but I mean, that's still for a
yeah,
boyfriend. I mean, that's her baby daddy too. So they got a 1-year-old, I think, together.
yeah. That's tough. I don't know. That's right. Hey, ride or die. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask, though, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people out here getting in trouble though, bro.
What we talking about?
Bruh, Young Thug. When it rains, it pours.
Oh,
He's set to lose about 6 million and the YSL brand. So what it was that he signed an exclusive performance deal back in 2017 with a company, and he was breaching the contract because he was still setting up his own shows and doing them. So they've been going, and so before this whole other thing happened, they were already in court by it. And so he had signed like some of his, it was like a $5 million deal that he got. And so with the breach of contract, they're like, nah, we need to recoup that and the fees. And you signed on, like, what you signed as collateral pretty much is a part of your publishing and like I said, the brand. So they think they can get the brand and get about 6 million.
See, so from what I read, they were at one point trying to negotiate a settlement and they couldn't. So this isn't anything that's like new news, at least to him. Right. If it's your first time hearing it, it kind of sounds like, oh, okay, now he locked up. We're gonna go ahead and put him in this position and blah 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 blah. But I think that the catch to that is that, you know what I'm saying, like if he signed an exclusive deal to exclusively go through them for his performances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen. Unless you say, hey, this is the schedule that we're gonna put out for you. These are you do all these cities, right? Now, if you do anything outside of these, that's fine, as long as you do our 32 dates, right? These are our 32 city dates. But if you say in between them dates or around those dates, you want to squeeze them in. But I think that his point of him doing that particular deal was for him to be able to you have that long-term security, right? You put out your projects, you have guaranteed, contract dates for those particular things. But I think that it also makes sense as an artist where you say, like, all right, that there's some opportunities in between then to make some. If he's charging, I think that at one point somebody was also we talked about it. Somebody was trying to sue him for like 300 bands, right? For 45 minutes. And so I'm just sitting here thinking like, all right, well, what if I already have a $6 million contract, if hypothetically, right, I didn't have to do anything exclusive, but I can here and there get me some 45-minute sets to go ahead and do a quick 300,000, I can totally see how, in addition to whatever you would have signed for your concert, you can make, if you got a 32-day concert, right, and that lasts you throughout the year, somewhere in between those dates, I'm sure you can figure out, let's say if you're in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? If you want to also pop up and do a show in Macon, you know what I'm saying? That's 300,000 there. If you want to go to Valdosta, do 300,000 there. But especially you think about Texas, right? Because if you in Dallas, if let's say your concert tour puts you in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, right? You still can technically do it and never have to leave the state. So you can also slide in Midland. You can slide in Killeen. Right, you could slide in El Paso if you want to go way out there. There are probably about 5 other cities in Texas with 50,000, with a population of 50,000 people or more that you could actually swing. So them 300,000s add up. You know what I'm saying? 5 shows. You talking about an extra $1.5 million though, man. But I think that what they're trying to do is to say, hey, man, you can already chew through this money, so we got to recoup our money. So I think that they're trying to go after the Young Thug brand name and the YSL brand name as part of them recouping their money. And
yeah.
That's
I understand it. Well, it don't
crazy.
stop there. We can't even stay there because we still got more people. The boy Fetty Wap pleaded guilty to conspiracy of trafficking drugs, bro. Minimum of 5 years.
Listen, he could have got more time. So I think that him settling in on the 5, But listen, bro. I listen. I don't. I've never been one that's been into the drug game, right? But it seems like I guess okay, put like this. If you were in the drug game before you were rapping, and then you rap, that doesn't mean that you lose your knowledge of the drug game. That doesn't mean that your resume and your man resume doesn't include drugs. So I guess you go back to that if the music ain't popping like that, right? And I'm assuming that, like, cause think about that though, man. Fetty Wap had some big records, right? But I know that he had a high. He came in and he was scorching hot, and then there was that fall off, right? Had a bunch of kids, didn't hear much from him music wise, and then I think that he put out. He said I think that he had an explanation of why he didn't do as much music and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm just sitting here thinking though, bro. Like I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of fathom how you could have a platinum single and within 2 platinum singles and within 10 years.
You think though, man, he was never gonna get the Trap Queen success again, right? Which is why I respected Lil Nas X so much.
But if Nas X did it, couldn't he? Did not that Lil Nas X duplicated it.
But Lil Nas X also did something which we talked about. We talked about this on the pod, right? Lil Nas X got a lot of famous doing antics. So when the music dropped, he was able to do that. Fetty Wap just kind of fell off. Like once Trap Queen kind of died down or whatever you want to call it. What did he wasn't on the gram doing stuff like Snitch 9 and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you drop music, you ain't got that buzz about you. Like the thing is that the interest in Lil Nas X because of the antics levied him to get them views up for the music. So
yeah,
I'm just saying he had a couple of things, he had a couple of songs, but nothing. Like I said, I mean, you look at like Designer, right? Where is he at?
I don't know, man. And listen, bro, and not just that though. I mean, these are songs that you think about. These are songs, Designer, and Trap Queen,
Panda.
Yeah, but Panda. But I think that Fetty Wap had that My Way. Don't even just on my way. Like these are songs that if you go to anywhere, you go to arenas and they playing these songs at soccer games, basketball games, NFL arenas, though, man. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, bruh, like he's had two, he had 6, 7, 9. I mean, he basically had a 1-year run, bro, where Trap Queen, 6, 7, 9, My Way. Those 3 singles, though, man, were hot in 2015, though, bro. So that's 7 years, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. He probably thought he can hit a quick little lick real quick and be right back in it.
He came out with an album last year, an album that was called The Butterfly Effect. But, you know, it wasn't, I'm looking at it, though, man, and you know what I'm saying? It was like his second whole album. He's had some tapes and everything like that, though, man. But in terms of, and he had an EP. But man, I'm just sitting here looking at that, though, bro, and I'm just like, man, come on.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I feel terrible for it, though, man. I feel terrible that it's one thing that he was already kind of falling off. But then to say you fell back, you know what I'm saying? Like you had to be going through some stuff to backtrack though, right?
Yeah, but Brittany, Waka Flocka's also put his money into some other stuff though. Like he's been into
technology and money management.
He's been investing, and then he's also learned how to do the insurance thing where you take from the insurance and then he's doing something totally different.
Yeah, I'm sure Waka Flocka is making way more money off of non-music things than he ever made off of music.
But musically, what he also did is he went overseas and he got on that EDM stuff long ago. So that money that he's making from overseas is long. So
yeah. I agree. I don't look at the two as the same though, man. Like it would be like if Waka Flocka went from all the stuff that we know to him getting arrested for drugs. Like
Yeah.
that to me, like, bruh, like there's a fall from grace. And listen, I still listen to Hard in the Paint as my first song to go work out in, though, man. So listen, shout out
Yeah.
to Waka. I like that song. I always have, though, man.
Well, while we sticking around in music, it's the last one in music, and then we can transition on out.
Yeah.
Boy, DJ Khaled said that he said he can smoke anybody in verses, bro. Is that fact or fiction?
Bruh, okay.
I'm gonna just tell you before you even get with the research department, that is all the way false, bro.
Okay, he clearly has to be said any other DJ.
No. He said he can smoke anybody in verses. That's what he said. Because I think he's like, look, I got all the dope verses from all the big artists.
Yeah, but see, okay, so for starters, he should think that, right? But I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, so listen, let's just talk about this though, man. Because I think he's talking it now because he has a new album that's about to come out. But I think that this is the problem that I have with Khaled saying that though, right? Because it's like, well, what you got to put him up against another DJ, right? Because if you're
Khaled is an artist, bro.
Yeah, but I get that though, right? I understand that he is an artist, but he ain't rapping, and not just that though. He's not producing all the tracks.
Why not put him up against Diddy?
Yeah, so okay, perfect. So you put him against Diddy, he gets smoked. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me,
I'm agreeing with you.
You put him against JD, he gets smoked. But I think that here's the funny thing. I saw DJ Drama that says you put my catalog, my mixtape catalog, and I'll smoke any DJ, right? Khaled says I'm with all the smoke. He's talking about DJ Clue, any DJ, right? So then it's just like, then you got to think, well, DJ Khaled has probably had more commercial success than any other DJ, right? But Drama is basically saying, dog, I got them, he got all of the original gangster grills from Wayne, from all the No Ceilings. He got all of the Wayne classic takes. He got all the Jeezy classic. He got like, so he's saying, you said you put me out there on that stage with anybody, and I'm smoking all of them. And I'm looking at Khaled stuff. And now, don't get me wrong, I always looked at Khaled as, like I said, Khaled is the cheat code because he's putting together a mixtape that is an album, right? And so from that perspective, like let's talk about it. He said, I'm so hood. He got All I Do Is Win. He could pull out the Rihanna joint that she has with Bryson Tiller. I mean, he got some songs though, bro. But I look at Khaled, and I guess I don't know, man. Like I don't look at him like he's an artist. I look at him like he is putting together a capsule of music that he didn't necessarily produce, but he's putting a vibe together all on one CD. But I think it's unfair to put Khaled against anybody else because, you know what I'm saying? Like, while he's producing the track, but producing it, I don't know, bro.
I don't think it matters, bro. I don't think he would win like he think he would. That's the problem.
I think that he could, man. Like, I think that Khaled, listen, bro, I think that Khaled has some songs, right? But I'm also just sitting here thinking, like, he's not untouchable, bro. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, he got some bangers, though, bro. Khaled got some real bangers, but I'm also thinking, like, yeah, there are plenty of other people who I think that would smoke him, though, bro.
100%.
That's all. Sir. But he got some joints, though. He said that he got one of the dopest Jay-Z verses of all time, and I was just like, Khaled, come on, bro. Like, when you say stuff like that, like he said something like he got a verse on from Jay-Z that made him cry. I'm like, come on, Khaled, like. You said almost the same thing about the song with Jay-Z and Nas on the last Khaled. Like,
Right.
stop it. I love DJ Khaled for hip hop, but Khaled can be like how some people some people may get tired of Diddy. Some people may get tired of Khaled the same way though, bro.
Yeah. What you was about to bring up?
I'm just sitting here thinking about. I'm looking at Khaled's. Yeah, I'm looking at Khaled's stuff. Oh man, he got no new friends. He got I said all I do is win. They don't love you no more. It's a lot of beatable stuff, bro. Like I'm not gonna even cap, bro. It's a lot of beatable stuff, man. A lot of beatable stuff. He talking, bro. I think Khaled is just talking now, bro. He talking. I'm looking at it is a grand list of he's put together all these. It's all high-end artists, right? All high-end artists, but nah. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that I'm just like
Completely
nah.
turned out.
I don't know, man. I'm looking. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
What's going on with Miss Nicki, bro?
Oh, listen. So here's what's crazy though, bro. Surprisingly to me, like her song "Super Freak." So okay, this is the thing I think is crazy. So let me just put this caveat out there. So I'm one of those people who I wholeheartedly still listen to radio, right? Like it's weird because I think that while when I'm not listening to music that I'm mixing, I still feel like out here in Atlanta, like radio really has the pulse of what's hot, who's hot, right? With that being said, I've never heard the Nicki Minaj song on radio, but it had me thinking though, Ace. What if this song isn't necessarily intended for radio success? Because I don't know how you could edit this song and it still sound like this song, right?
Bro, radio hasn't been that necessary in a while.
I know.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that wouldn't surprise me in one bit. Like people literally are making songs for TikTok. People are literally making songs for streaming. So the thing is that if you got a built-in fan base like she does, like that will put the song, like the song comes out and all they do is just sit there and have the song playing on repeat or whatever. I ain't mad at that. Like I ain't got no fans like that.
I get that though, right? But I guess what I'm just kind of wondering is this. Okay. When that WAP dropped, right? WAP was everywhere, right? So and it was no question that regardless of all the bots and the stuff that happens to manipulate streams, all that stuff though, man, it still didn't change the fact that WAP was an organic, I think, instant hit, right?
Right, but the difference though, WAP was also a conversation, right? Because it was one of those things like, yo, you gotta hear this. You ain't gonna believe this. That still counts as organic, but I'm just saying, organic. I'm just saying that ain't what happened to Nicki's song.
That's my point. So she recently had a record, another #1 song, basically though. And what's crazy about that is that this is like she's the only female rapper, of course, that's ever done this and everything like that. But what was surprising to me about that, I understand that she has fan base, right? The things that stood out to me was that it surprised me because I didn't think that this was that kind of song. But I think that the one thing that I can at least appreciate, and it tells that her fans are really checking for her for her to have one of those songs. Like she still get that kind of support though, man. She's not lost in the sea of all the.
I mean, there are people that absolutely love her, which hey, naturally so. But yeah, hasn't happened since Lauryn Hill, bro.
Yeah, listen, man. I'm one of those people that absolutely loves Nicki Minaj. Absolutely. But I'm not a blind witness, right? Like I still have some level of subjectiveness when it
Yeah,
comes to
you ain't
her.
got your Beyonce blinders on.
No. Not quite that. But I think the big thing is that, like I said, I think that I am just kind of curious though, man. Like I've never like I said, WAP. That WAP was every now maybe it's that I didn't see the Nicki video. I only heard the song.
Yeah.
But WAP had the video. It was packaged perfectly though, bro. And I just
Yeah, because
no.
even with how vulgar the song, you might think the song was, the video was still tasteful.
It was tasteful. It was sexual and it was explicit, but
Yeah,
it
but it
wasn't.
wasn't as explicit as that thing could have had been. Like,
Yes.
it wasn't BET uncut.
Well, and especially considering that Cardi has had that one song that has that very explicit video.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I know exactly which one you
I told somebody, listen, I like probably like last month, we was having a conversation about that, and I told somebody about that song. They was like, wait, what are you talking about? I said, you never seen the explicit Cardi B video? They was like, no. I said, listen, it's not something that I think that you can find on Google. Like, I don't
even know where you can find it.
I don't think you can find it on YouTube. But I was like, but yes, I said she has a really, and I was telling them the content. They was like, ain't no way. And then I pulled it on up though, man. They was mouth on the floor, like, what? But anywho, though, man. But Nicki, I don't know. I props that she got that achievement and everything like that. I still am not that blown away by the song. I guess I just didn't think that it was. Maybe I'm just a bad judge of a reach for songs, how widespread it is. But I don't know, man. Didn't quite do it for me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at these comments. One thing real quick though, man. Oh my gosh. Ace Kennedy.
What's up?
What happens now with KD?
Well, I mean, I guess they running it back. I was wondering, like, because they didn't say Kyrie was in the meeting. They said KD, Josiah, Steve Marks or whatever his name is, and Steve Nash.
Yep.
So I was thinking, like, what does that mean for the Kyrie trade? Like, are they still trying to? Because they can't. Because see, you can't trade Kyrie for Russ now. That ain't gonna happen.
Right.
So I'm thinking, well, maybe they try to get Spider. Spider and KD would work.
So I think that the reason why they can't do that, if I'm not mistaken, is that there's an NBA rule that says you can't have two players on your team on max rookie deals. And Ben Simmons is on his max, and so is Spider. So I think that's the reason why they wouldn't necessarily be able to.
He already signed a super, like, something else.
Right. You can't have two people fresh off of their rookie deals.
Okay.
As max. So their next contract after their rookie deal, there's some provision in the NBA guidelines that says you can't have two of them, which is weird, right? Because I think it may be two or three. Because I think Joel Embiid was on a max deal, and also Ben Simmons was. It's some weird though, man. But
yeah,
I don't know.
No, I think that just shuts down. Like, I think that shuts down the Russ trade though.
Well, so then that's the trickle down that I'm wondering, right? Like, what is that? So this is my thing. All right. So if you don't trade KD, does that mean that you don't necessarily trade Kyrie either?
Well, the latest report is that both of them was back in the lab working out together.
I did. And so, yes. So I saw that video as well. But listen,
Russ was working out with Kyrie. I didn't see Russ working out with KD though, man. So
Right.
I don't know, bro. So listen, but let's think about that though, man. After all of that, right? After all of that talking, you still are there. Like, I don't know
It's
what,
because they couldn't get rid of him, bro. There was no trade that was gonna work. Nobody, no other team was like, yeah, we willing to help y'all in this trade to get Kevin Durant. Nobody was willing to do that. So it's like there was no place for him to go.
oh my gosh, listen, man. I don't get, bro. My thing is this though, man. Like, how does that? Okay? So now So KD says he reiterated that a week ago that he wants to be traded. Maybe. Yep. So then my thing is that what exactly could they have assured KD in order for him to say, all right, let's run it back, then?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I would
maybe they was like, listen, bro, listen, I'm gonna just be honest with you. There's nothing out there that people are willing to give up for you.
Nothing that put this. This is the thing I think that it's twofold though, right? I think that what because here logically, like, it makes sense that KD is in addition to what you already have, right? So almost like how he went to Golden State and they didn't have to give up nothing to get KD. It says, all right, we got this 73-win team. Let's just put you on there, right? But it would be almost like if I don't know that they maybe at the time Golden State, if somebody says if Oklahoma, right, if OKC says, yeah, well, you know what, we'll trade you KD because he wants to leave, but in order for us to trade him, we got to get Klay Thompson in exchange for him, right? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But I think that people were basically looking at it like, okay, most teams didn't want to give up nothing that they had to get KD, nothing that would impact. Did you think about it? There was a report that he would go to about the Memphis being curious, what, right? But Memphis didn't want to give up. Of course, they didn't want to give up Ja. They didn't want to give up Jerry Jackson. They didn't want to also give up Desmond Bane. They said, well, you can get pretty much everybody else. And it's like, them other players might be cool, but they ain't in some draft picks. Like, really? Like, and I think other teams were kind of the same way. It's like, all right, well, we don't want to give up what you want because that means that we want KD to be paired up with those guys. So
shoot, Collins, they was gonna give up Collins in Atlanta.
Yeah, but they've been trying to get rid of Collins, though. It's weird. I'm mad because he's my favorite player on the Hawks, and they didn't want to give Collins his money, right? Last year, before the last offseason, they did not want to give him that contract. They was waiting till the very last minute. And then even up until as recently as 2 weeks ago, he's been in every trade talk and everything like that. And this is the problem that this is the problem that the Hawks have, right? The problem that the Hawks have is that the Hawks have like 5 guys that are just as good as each other. John Collins is probably a little bit more talented, but he doesn't shoot the three like some of the other guys that they pick. And they're all drafted within 2 years apart. So the Hawks have all these guys that are from 22 to 25 years old that plays the exact same position, same height, same everything. John Collins is just the one that to me is the most athletic of all those guys. So when they wound up trade have the re-up, they have the re-up like all of these guys at the same time. And so I guess for them, John Collins is the odd man out. But I listen, bro. The Hawks they do stupid stuff. Cause they're the stupidest though, man.
So you think they were stupid for getting a young dude from San Antonio?
I don't think that they were stupid for that. But here's the other thing too, though, right? The problem that I have with that is that in those moments, right, in the playoffs, right, you still needed. You had Trae Young as your primary ball handler and your primary facilitator at the same time. But I think that when it came down to it, I think that teams were targeting him and saying, all right, you know, we'll do whatever we have to do on him. And then, everybody else got to do something. What I don't know
is that I don't know that if DeJounte Murray, if his offense is like that crazy enough for that to make that much of a difference. And I also, my concern is that they were attacking Trae Young. Everybody was attacking him because you gonna face that team 7 games possibly, right? So it's like you can game plan around his height and take advantage of. I don't know, bro. I would have liked to have seen them instead of Murray. They probably should have got somebody who is a pure scorer. Bradley Beal.
But Bradley wasn't trying to go nowhere.
Bradley wasn't trying to come up with that money.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. Like you say they should have got a pure scorer. Who else was available?
I don't know who else is out there, man. So but that's the reason why I'm not mad that they went out there. But I mean, you basically got a point guard and you went and got another point guard. So then it's just like, all right, you're gonna play with 2 point guards. And listen, granted, it makes Trae Young be able to play as just a shooting guard, right? He's gonna be more like Steph, less point guard, more of a shooter. I get it. I'm just kind of curious on. I've always been curious on what is it about John Collins that the Hawks don't like. That boy put up career numbers, and they was just like looking at him like he was DeAndre Ayton, bro.
Maybe they ain't like his attitude. Oh,
listen, and this is the thing about it. I've never heard anything bad about his attitude. Him and Trae Young work out off season. I mean, he's all around. Listen, with all things considered, all around good guy. It's just like, at least with DeAndre Ayton, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had a reason why they wasn't really rocking with him, you know, right then and there. But I don't know, bro. Anywho, but I do think it is interesting though, man, because Patrick Beverley came out and he had said he had a tweet. He was like, you know, basically paraphrasing. He was like, yo, with all things considered, this is all cool. And after all this, he ended up staying. But listen, this is impacting a whole bunch of people's lives, though, man. And I did see that KD wound up retweeting the blame. Listen, bro, who else is there to blame then? KD? Like, what is he talking about, though? Pound, but hashtag blame KD. Who do you think it should be blamed, bro?
But at the same time, that's not Kevin Durant's fault. That ain't.
How? It's all Kevin Durant's fault.
Bro, he moves the post of basketball, right? That's not his fault that he's that good that he moves the post of basketball. The thing is, if a team gets tired of you, they get rid of you.
Facts.
So if Kevin Durant is taking his career in his hands and saying, no, I want out, that's still, regardless of whether we agree with it or not, that's still his decision. And I'm going to always side with the players. Do you think Oklahoma City took a hit when Russ and KD and them left? They absolutely did. We absolutely did. But at the same time, that's not Kevin Durant's fault that if he wanted out, that ain't his fault that everybody else suffered because of that.
Listen, this is my thing. Okay. I guess what Patrick Beverley is basically saying is that at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You do all of that, right? You do all of this back and forth. And he's basically saying there were teams who were cutting players in preparation of trying to get, you know, space for Kevin Durant. There were people who, you know what I'm saying, just didn't know what Durant. And listen, Kevin, you can't just sit here and say Kevin Durant said, well, how's that my fault that they were preparing, blah, 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 blah. But he's basically saying that, there were people who basically, you know what I'm saying, because in preparation of deals with Kevin Durant, they were moving and making space like that. And these are people who got whole lives that were already in place. And they were just kind of uprooted just because of Kevin Durant basically being mad about Kevin Durant being mad at the end of the day about Kyrie, who he co-signed, right? Mad about Steve Nash, who he co-signed, right? Like everything is these are all decisions that Kevin Durant made, though. So I totally understand why he would be like, yo, this is real talk. This is KD's fault.
KD's the center of discussion, but it's not his fault. Again, that man is allowed to say he wants to leave. Whether I agree with him or not, he's allowed to say he wants to leave. At the end of the day, if the organization, so hear me out, right? Let's say Kevin Durant got hurt or that he didn't get hurt. right? And then Brooklyn was like, you know what, we blowing this up, and then they just pushed Kevin Durant out. So are those same people still losing their jobs?
Wait, say that one more time.
Flip the script, right? Not that Kevin Durant asked out, but Brooklyn decided they didn't want to deal with KD or Kyrie anymore, so they shipped them both out. So those same people would still be in the discussion for their job security then, right? So
they gonna be there. So what ends up happening is that, to me, if this doesn't work out, that means Sean Marks is out of there, because Sean Marks is the one that co-signed. Sean Marks was the one who basically helped give them that power, give Kevin Durant. So when it doesn't work out, Sean Marks he's at fault. He's getting
why isn't this same thing still Sean Marks's fault then? That's what I'm saying.
I think it is. I think that it's a small part Sean Marks, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like this. I think that Sean Marks was trying to do what he thought was
best for the organization.
Best for the organization, right? And what was best for the organization was for him to give in to KD, right? So now listen about that. All right. Kevin Durant, as part of him signing that, think about all the things that Kevin Durant demanded, right? When you put this in context, Kevin Durant demanded that DeAndre Jordan
get 40 mil,
be signed 40 mil, right? DeAndre Jordan, who was well outside of his prime by the time he had already got signed, right? Kevin Durant demanded that Steve Nash, with no coaching experience, be the head coach. And then he went there and basically said, the only way I'm going to come there is if Kyrie's there, right? Those three things are on KD, right? And those three things are basically, to me, the cornerstone. And even then, let's say you take it a step further. If you want to put it out there, you can also say James Harden coming there doesn't get done unless KD okays that, right? But at the same time, Kevin Durant had the input or the direction to go ahead and do that. So my thing is that, yeah, if it doesn't work out, I think
that's not their fault. It's not KD's fault if you ask for the things you want and they approve it. If you are one of the premier athletes that is the face of the National Basketball Association, and you ask for something and heaven and earth is moved for you, that's based upon what you produce on the court.
Okay, so I'm not saying that's true, but hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, when LeBron James went back to Cleveland, right? Okay, Cleveland was probably no better before LeBron James got there than the Nets were before KD got there. Mediocrity, middle of the road team at lower end, best case scenario, 8th seed, right? LeBron James comes there. I'll come back. These are the things that I need to see happen, right?
Wiggins needs to leave,
right? Bring in Kevin Love, right? On top of that, Kyrie's cool. He already here. So we got those three. I need Channing Frye here. I need J.R. Smith here. I need D-Wade. I need you to surround me with shooters, right? Because that's conducive to winning, right? So LeBron, if that doesn't work, right? If they don't win, David Griffin doesn't get nearly the blame that he put. If LeBron, then LeBron would, because everybody knows that the GM is signing the checks and signing off on it, but it's at the behest of LeBron. What else is he gonna do?
So then when LeBron leaves for LA and all those people lost their jobs, did they blame LeBron for that?
No, because at the end of the day, it resulted in a championship, and that's worth whatever the cost. Right? That's what I'm saying. It's
if
all
you win
for
a championship, then it's okay for these people to lose their jobs.
Yeah, that's all in the name of the championship. Because to me, I say that to say that's no different. But that when the people losing their jobs, so let's just say Kevin Durant, right? If Kevin Durant, if the Nets win the championship, right? next year, right? And then let's just say for some reason, if KD and all of them boys leave, if they felt like, you know what, man, we just need to go ahead and at this point start over, hit the reset button. If they felt like that the general manager and these executives isn't the regime that they want to bring, that usher in that new era of then I would totally understand that, right? Because you've already removed all the players. But at the same time, if you think that those are the guys, right, that can do it, then yeah, you keep them. It's like when the Lakers lost, right? The Lakers, because the Lakers are perennial winners, they didn't have to get rid of all their general management. Mitch Kupchak, all them boys stayed there through the losses, right? But it's like if you're the Nets, you're not used to winning. So if you decide that you're gonna blow it up and let go executive personnel, I understand that. But if you've won a championship, everything Kevin Durant asks for is all worth it, and you're dealing with house money at that point.
Right, but it's no guarantee you're gonna win a championship, right?
That's true.
So it's just like when the Lakers got what they did last year when they put all those players on the team and it didn't work out, right?
Right.
All I'm saying is there are some players that have that swag that it's gonna be like that. Like, so the thing is that to then say, oh, it's their fault. Well, yes and no. But at the same time, that's for him being that good that he leverages that power. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. Listen, leverage the power and wield the power all you want. But what I'm saying is that I think that the big thing is that the reason why a lot of people feel like you and I, right? We feel like the Lakers, right? The Lakers falling apart are the reason, right? It's different. Some people want to blame Russ or whatever. Some people want to blame whoever. But at the end of the day, to me, if you really want to ultimately, let's just say hypothetically, right? If you say, all right, you know what, Anthony Davis is the primary reason, right?
Yep.
Still, at the end of the day, that roster, right? Nobody is on that roster without the okay of LeBron. So to me, even though there's another general manager, I feel that if you want to say, you know what, Russ is, if somebody says Russ is the reason that they lost, that the reason why the Lakers were bad, you could even take a step back and say, wait a minute, no, let's just bring LeBron because LeBron asked for Russ. LeBron okayed that. So you give it up to that. LeBron built the team. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're the guy that's building the team, when you win the championships, when the Lakers won that championship, a lot of people was like, oh, LeBron is the de facto general manager. And they gave him credit for that. That's all. That's the same thing. If they lose, you got to sit on that. And that's, to me, when you have that kind of power and decide that you want to wield that power, though, bro.
Just like the Lakers, we agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Bro, so we've been talking around this for a long time, and it's time to tell the truth. So, for you, some of you guys know that I had released a song called X-Man, and it was only available on my website. And I also was just recently talking about how I had signed a new deal with my music distribution company. Well, we are unveiling names and everything now. Like we pulling the gloves off. So I was signed to TuneCore, and TuneCore is just like there's DistroKid, there's United Masters, there's several music production companies that basically do the same thing where you pay a yearly subscription, and once you pay that yearly subscription, you release as much music as you want and you get paid accordingly. Well, TuneCore has like these, I don't know if they have bots or if they have actual humans that once you submit stuff, they go through and they say yes or no based upon whatever criteria. Recently, Charles with the Bel Air Live from 1999, the Bel Air 2, he experienced something similar to where they tried to tell him he had to change his album cover because of the fact that it said the word live.
The name of the album, the whole name of the album.
But because it said the word live, they couldn't get past the word live. And he said, y'all, 19. Now, mind you, this is all correspondence through email. This is not even a phone call. This is correspondence through email because they don't have a live person that you can speak to resolve issues quickly. So he tells them, number one, I'm not changing my cover because I have a whole rollout. I have merchandise. I have everything. And number two, this isn't a live album. That's the name of the project. And it says live from 1999. How, if we're in 2020 or 21, whenever the release date was, how can I be live from 1999 if this is 2020? Like, it doesn't make sense until finally, magically, they released his project, which pushed back his rollout, which pushed back the date he was going to do everything or whatever. I had a rollout. My single was supposed to be out in August, which was the tail end of summer. It is an upbeat song. It was supposed to be out, creating a buzz, getting ready for my actual project to come out, which should have come out around my birthday. They tell me they're not going to put my record out because they said of explicit lyrics. And I said, no, Charles and I are the writers of this song. Where is the explicit lyrics at? There aren't any. There aren't any cuss words and no explicit lyrics. And if there are, tell me where. I still, to this day, my album, that song was supposed to come out on August the 5th. It is now August the 23rd. I got an email August the 3rd when they sent that email saying we've been corresponding since then. When I sent them the email asking for clarification, I have still not received an email. Today, I still have not received an email from TuneCore giving me the information that I need so that the song could come out. Today, this is the 23rd of August. I still have not received an email from TuneCore. About a week ago, I took my grievances to Twitter, like I do. When I give you the opportunity to do what you do and you don't respond, I take my grievances to Twitter because the court of public opinion needs to know about things that happen.
Facts.
Right? When I've had grievances with my boy from the Bears, the quarterback, Rex Grossman. He was no longer with the team after my grievances. I asked for Crystal Clear Pepsi to come back. It did.
Is there?
I asked for Capri Suns to be in a bottle. They were. There are many things that, I had an issue with. I will leave their name out because we have resolved said issue, but I have a insurance company that I've worked with, and we had an issue with them not getting me things in a timely manner, and they resolved it. So I will leave their names out of this. But TuneCore, I took my grievances to Twitter, and then lo and behold, other artists were saying similar things about this company. Fast forward to I go to the awards ceremony this past weekend. I'm talking to some other artists because we all in the building. And I'm like, yo, this is what's going on with TuneCore. They was like, bruh, I don't know why you jumped on them. You should have went to so-and-so. Because, no, I said we using names. They said you need to go to DistroKid because I was looking to go to United Masters. I was like, I like some of the things that I'm seeing, but I got to the price point. I was like, it's taking a little much out the wallet. So we started looking at DistroKid. DistroKid's got a nice price point. They have all the tools necessary to do some promotional things to help you generate and get your stuff out there. And after talking to those artists, they were like, bro, you need to get on the DistroKid bandwagon. And I even know somebody who's been on DistroKid and hasn't had a complaint. So today, my brother and me, we are now on DistroKid.
Yeah, I did the bam, 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 bam.
We are in the process of moving all of our music from TuneCore. It will be removed before the end of this week. And if I had my Vince McMahon button here, I would tell TuneCore they are fired. Yeah. Not it doesn't make it. This is what makes me upset about TuneCore. For one, if you have a verified check by your name, oh, they got all the love in the world for you, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We paid the exact same price. If Beyonce was a TuneCore member, what Beyonce paid, guess what? Ace and Charlie would be paying. So there's no difference. There's no difference. So the fact that y'all, I'm just a number to you and y'all don't care, I don't care either. I don't care either. So we are taking our services. We have taken our services to DistroKid. And FTMG is gone from TuneCore.
I mean, that's the joy of being independent, though, man. You can do those kind of moves. Imagine us having this conversation with Def Jam or Universal or somebody like that.
Right. And the other thing is I have no fear of telling you that and using names because what they gonna do? I ain't gonna hear back from them anyway.
Listen, man, I am excited though, man. Like I said, we have a nice rollout for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Of things that we're looking to do. It's unfortunate that we didn't get a chance to start those things, you know what I'm saying, earlier. But I think that for the most part, though, man, it's still time to execute everything that we were looking to do. So I'm definitely excited though to the new partnerships though.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to be working with DistroKid. If I had a t-shirt, I'd wear my DistroKid t-shirt. I'm very, very excited and looking forward to all the opportunities to generate more income for our families and very, very excited for the new partnership.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yes, X-Men will be coming out. I don't know when yet, but guess what? It will be soon. And yeah, TuneCore it's over, bro.
It's over. I think my issue is that I would look for them, especially as somebody who kind of beat the drum of supporting independent artists, to also support and be advocates for the creators, though, man. And I feel like they weren't. So yeah.
Nah, they dropped the ball several times.
Yeah,
that's all right. They ain't got to worry about it no more.
Facts.
The president of TuneCore could call me tomorrow and I'd be like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
Facts.
Man, what you got up for the rest of the week?
You know what, man? For the rest of the week, bro, I'm hoping to fine tune trying to fine tune some music. I think that's it though, man. I think I really got. I'm finalizing my playlist in preparation that this project is out of there. I think that there are a couple. I like to kind of go through maybe three. There are 4 beats that I think are keeper beats that I'd want to put on the project that I want to write songs to, though, man. So I'm gonna be tackling that this weekend, though, man.
What's up?
What about you?
Man, I am still trying to finish. I got 2 songs left to finish. Or 2 songs to re-record, should I say, and then 1. So basically 3 songs that's left to finish up. And then that'll be it for me, man.
Yeah. I'm putting the bow tie on this thing though, man. But I'm pretty hyped. I got my next set of visuals lined on up in terms of the songs that I want to do. So yeah, we're gonna get it popping though.
That's what's up. Well, look, man, thank y'all for rocking with your boys. We are the Slash Brothers. We outro.
Peace.
Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?